Fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Reed Davis, and I'm going to show you a new way of looking at disease. And I'm going to show you the hidden stressors, and dysfunctions. The hidden stressors and dysfunctions that are at the root of just about every common health complaint that you can think of. No, that means whatever you are suffering from or whatever your clients are suffering from if you're a practitioner. And so these things are at the root of everything. And before I do that, I need to show you a little demonstration. And I have a question for you. What's that big organ up in your skull that allows you to think called? The big organ up in your skull allows you to think is called your brain, of course. And the brain communicates with the body, and the body communicates with the brain through various methods. And these are important to understand. We have the blood. The blood has hormones, it has nutrients, it has the immune system and things. You have the nervous system, you have nerves. Nerves are autonomic and they're somatic. They control every single cell in your body. And of course there's energy, and chi is what we'll call that, energy and blood flow. And that's another way that the body functions. Another thing that helps the body to function. And it doesn't matter if it's a cell or a tissue or organ, your heart, lungs, kidneys, pancreas, adrenals, ovaries, testes if you got them, they all depend upon these things. And what we stress a lot is that the body's designed pretty well. You know, the design was pretty immaculate. We're designed for 100% function. That's what normal is. In our book, normal function is really good function. And then if you were functioning normally, your body would be in a state of ease. So if you're functioning normally the way you're designed on a cellular level, tissue, organ systems and things, you'd be in a state of ease. Now that's also known, medical term actually, is homeostasis. So what drives that? There's actually an innate intelligence. We call it the vital reserve. I don't think I'll bother writing it there. Vital reserve, strategic reserve. And I've heard some smart people call it metabolic reserve, you know. So we have all these functions going on in our bodies. If it's functioning normally, you'd be in a state of ease. And the question now is, would you be healthy? Yeah, you'd be healthy, functioning normally in a state of ease. Now, is that how people who are sick feel? You know, people with a problem feel? Well, no. Is that how people come into your office if you're a practitioner? No, they come in with, or you have, and here's my chicken scratchings, and writing it out there for you. They come in with symptoms, or you have symptoms. And of course, you want to get rid of those. We'll talk about that in a sec. First, I want you to realize something. Symptoms are very common, but they should never be considered normal. So, why would a person functioning normally in a state of ease have any symptoms? Well, the truth is that they're not in a state of ease anymore. They're actually now in a state of disease. And why is that? Well, because there is some kind of malfunction or dysfunction ongoing. See, if you have symptoms, then there's some kind of loss of homeostasis, remember? We'll call that a disease process. And then malfunction or dysfunction occurring. Things aren't normal. So back to what I said a second ago. Symptoms are common but should never be considered normal. You probably have some cells or tissue or organ or something, some kind of metabolic inefficiency, some kind of malfunction ongoing. You're in a disease state. That's why you have symptoms. So please notice they are the last thing to occur in this stream here. Now, we generally call this malfunction, dysfunction. Cells and tissues and organs just aren't working quite the way they were designed. You still have lots of that vital reserve left, hopefully, but you're in a state of disease, and therefore you have symptoms. We generally just call this metabolic chaos. I should write that down. So metabolic chaos is what's going on. That's why you have symptoms. And it's okay. People want, when they come in, generally speaking, some relief for those symptoms. That means there's something about the way you look or the way you feel that you want to change. Well, good. You want to change that. Or if you're in the business, you want to help people change that. So the issue I have with the way this has been looked at traditionally by standard medicine is that there's some quick way, such as pills, to get rid of the symptoms. And it might get rid of some of them, you know, and the problem is, you can see here, the disease process is still ongoing. The malfunctions are still occurring. Nobody's really handled the metabolic chaos. So typically, things get worse. People have, I'm going to write the word surgery here, because we know that people will take pills for something for a long time, and that symptom, they might dance around with that, need stronger pills and stronger pills. But eventually, standard medicine is prone to just taking parts out if possible. And so we don't like that very much. We know now that symptoms really, they're just a signal that something's wrong, that there is some kind of disease or malfunction occurring. And that if all you do is chase away the symptoms, things are going to get worse. Those symptoms, again, will come back with a vengeance, or they can appear as new symptoms in a different area. And so, you know, you just end up with more and more and more of this or more of this. We don't like that at all. That's not our way. And so what we'd obviously want to do is go back and look, how can we resolve the metabolic chaos that's ongoing here? Now I'm going to go a little bit further and say that here we have, let's just take metabolic chaos. Metabolic chaos. What are the contributors to metabolic chaos? Well, I've kind of separated three main areas. One is mental, emotional types of stressors and dysfunctions. We have mental, emotional problems. The way you perceive things, that can cause malfunction and disease. Obviously, there's also physical, I'll just say physical trauma. You could have built up weaknesses, bad posture, accidents, you know, who fell down off a swing when they were a kid, and these kind of things. So trauma can build up, that can affect the nervous system, and you certainly can have lots of malfunction and disease. So these are very important areas. Now I myself am not a specialist in those two areas, but what I have done for the last over 15 years is work more on the biochemical types of stressors and influences. So there's lots of metabolic chaos caused by these things, and I tend to specialize more in the biochemical. And so what I've learned to do is run some lab work that I'm going to tell you about in the next video. And it helps us sort out metabolic chaos. And so when we sort out metabolic chaos, we can get back to kind of normal function. We get back to the 100% function. And when you do that, when you return function to normal, the dis-ease goes away. You get back into a state of ease, and then symptoms are gone on a much more permanent level. You don't need this anymore because you're actually dealing with the underlying causes and conditions. So that's basically my new way of looking at disease. We call this the brain-body diagram. I dedicate this to Dr. David Singer, who taught it to me. And I've been using this for 15 years to help educate people, whether it be my clients who want to get healthy or my students who want to learn to teach others to get healthy. So thanks a lot. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.